Hello guys, I'm your host William and today we're going to talk about the movie Camp X-Ray. The movie starts with a TV showing news of the September 11th attacks, and soon after, the main character, Ali Amir, shows up with a plastic bag. Ali sets up a few satellite phones on a table, and then he goes to pray as a Muslim. Just then, someone comes up behind him and puts something over his head, blindfolding him. He is then sent to Camp Delta, a special prison where he and other prisoners are kept in small cages like dogs. Camp X-Ray gets a new group of soldiers after the movie jumps ahead 8 years. As the soldiers walk down the hallway, the people who are being held let out their anger by spitting curses at them. As a new recruit, Amy Cole is on her first assignment overseas. Shortly after, Corporal Randol tells the soldiers about the rules and regulations of the camp and warns them to be very careful. Amy Cole arrives. He also says that the people who are being held shouldn't be allowed to kill themselves and that they shouldn't be called prisoners. The Geneva Convention says that prisoners must be watched, so new prisoners are shown around the facility and told about the different offices. Rand still gets a call with a code word when the team gets to the cafeteria. Charlie Bronson Rand still says that the code is for a special 4-person team called Initial Reaction Force that works with detainees who are acting badly. Then he asks the group if anyone wanted to join the team. Amy steps up. As the team sets up their gear, Randol takes Amy's name tag off to remind her that soldiers are not allowed to tell the detainee anything. Shortly after that, the team walks to Mao's cell and goes inside. Amy, on the other hand, stays away from the man as the others try to take him down. When she finally tries to grab his hand, he hits her in the face with a punch, but the team is able to catch him and take him outside. Mao spits in Amy's face, which makes her very angry. Then Amy gives him a hard kick before tying him to a chair and keeping him in a room by himself on the bus ride back to their base. The mark left by Amy's fellow soldier for getting hit in the face. Before going to bed, Amy cleans up in her room and video calls her mother. Amy tells her mother that she won't be coming home for a while because she has to go on another deployment. Amy gets ready the next morning and heads back to the camp. Inside the facility, she pushes a book cart around so that people who are being held can read. She looks at the glass of each store and knocks to ask the captives to read something. But one of the prisoners starts yelling at Amy in a foreign language, and Rance runs over to shut him up. Ransdell then gives the prisoner a book and tells Amy that the prisoners hate women because of what they believe. She then goes to Ollie's room, which has the number 105. There, Ollie gives her a book back and asks for the 7th Harry Potter book, saying he has been looking for it for 2 years. But Amy ignores his request and makes him choose. Ollie tries to make the conversation last longer by asking about other books, but Rand shows up and ends it. Amy feels sad the next morning as she walks along and looks at the ocean. After that, the guards get Korans, food, and books for the prisoners, which Amy brings to them just like the day before. All tries to talk to Amy by asking her name and other personal questions while she walks around the detention ward. He even asks her if she is a Christian and talks about the Quran and the Bible. But she doesn't listen to him and tells him to shut up after a while. All yells some words in a foreign language and begs Amy for water as a way to get her to stop talking. Amy notices that the other Chinese people are covering their Korans. She then opens a small window near the door and hands them a bottle. But at that very moment, Ollie throws something on her uniform that she didn't expect, and the other people in jail laugh so hard they cry. She is so angry that she calls the IRF for Ollie and then leaves.
I'm already covered in this shit.
She tells the other officers that when the prisoners are about to do something wrong, they cover their Korans. Then Amy cleans her uniform, and while she's doing that, Colonel Drummond tells her to use vinegar to get the stains out. Later, at lunch, Randol tells Amy that Ollie won't be in his cell for a week because he was punished as part of a program for people who fly a lot. The people in this program are moved every 2 hours, so they can't sleep. After their shifts, the soldiers spend the day relaxing by the sea, and in the evening, they drink beers and play games. Randol then follows Amy into a bathroom and starts to be rough with her, but she pushes him away elsewhere. While being moved to a new south, Ollie has to get up every 2 hours. The next day, Amy goes with PFC Raymond to look through Ollie's room. She sees a pretty cup and agrees that the room isn't big enough to live in. Afterward, she is curious as she watches guards carry Ollie back to his room as he sleeps. She goes to the library to look at Ollie's file. She looks through all of these papers and finds pictures of him getting beat up. She also finds out that he has hurt himself in the past and that his aggressive behavior led him to see a psychiatrist a lot. During Amy's lunch break, Rico joins her. He tells her about a detainee he doesn't like, remembering Ollie's requests. She asked Rico if he had read any Harry Potter books, and he said he hadn't because he thought they were for kids. Ollie is drawing in his Sudoku book after the break, which Amy sees. He asked her if she knew while he was walking around. After that, Sudoku explains. He likes to play Sudoku to see how much he has learned because he has read all the books. He then tries to get her to answer his Sudoku, but she says she can't because of. All he says is that they are the bad guys because they put innocent men in jail. He shows the authorities how angry he is by flushing away his Sudoku book. Later, Amy tells him that she looked in the library for his Harry Potter book but couldn't find it.
Don't do that.
Ollie, on the other hand, says that one of the guards told him there is a 7th book. Then, he says he's sorry for asking for the book, and in the next scene, he admits that he's been waiting for the end of the Harry Potter series for so long that it's driving him crazy. In the movie Fast Forward, which takes place over 8 months, the prisoners haven't eaten for 5 days. They force-feed the ringleader, Mamo, by putting food in his nose through a tube. Amy tells Colonel Drum that the prisoners have asked for a machine as a reason for their protest. Later, the colonel agrees to their request. Ollie is later being watched by Amy while he plays with a ball inside a cage. She asks about the score, and he says he only got 18 points. He also says that he wants to beat the record set by the other prisoner. Then, Amy says she will speak for him if he gets more than 40 points. Ollie tries to catch the ball on 8, but he drops it. Going to work, Amy tells him that she can get him moved to a better facility if he stops acting out. Ollie, however, tells his kidnappers that he doesn't want to give up his rights while they are talking. Ollie can't talk to Amy, so Mammoth cuts him off. Randol also calls Amy and tells her that both the prisoner and the officers don't like it when Amy tries to teach Ollie a lesson by getting close to her. Randol tells her that the other officers are busy when he knows they are not. He then told her to watch Ollie take a shower, even though that was against army protocol and social norms in Arabic. Amy finds out from her coworkers while having a drink in the evening that Randol lied to her about the other officers getting angry. Late that night, she gives Colonel Drummond a report about him. The next day, Amy goes to see the colonel in his office. He rejects her report, saying that Randol didn't give her direct orders and that the detainees still showered even though she was there. This makes Amy realize that the administration treats the detainees like they are less important. Before he sends her away, he tells her that every soldier is there because a higher authority told them to be. Later, Rico sits down with Amy for lunch in the cafeteria. He tells her that a guard on a different block tried to kill himself. When Amy hears this, she shows how worried she is about the detainees by saying that the administration system has tortured not only the detainees but also the guards. Rico, on the other hand, criticizes her by saying that the detainees had already put together 9. But she disagrees with him and says that the people in jail had nothing to do with what happened. Rico tells her that talking to La has changed her mind, and he also says that being in the facility is better than being at war. As time goes on in Iraq, Amy starts to separate herself from the other guards because her morals are different from theirs. She is very upset about how the facility is run, which is not in a humane way. On a certain day, she gets a letter telling her that she has been moved to the night shift as she walks by Ollie's during her night shift. He suddenly wakes up and calls her name. Amy goes to his door and tells him to go to sleep. Ollie tells her that he can't sleep because the lights are always on. Amy tells him that she is on the night shift because she told the colonel about Randol. Ollie then asked her how she ended up working at the facility, but she turned the question back on him. Ollie says he was never in a terrorist group, but he knows no one will believe him. Trying to switch the subject, Amy asked Ollie about Bremen, where he lived. After a while, she says that this is her first trip outside of the country, and that she comes from a small town with few people. She also tells him that she left the area because she wanted to do something important with her life. Ollie is on my mind for hours, and I can't sleep. So we asked Amy what day it was, and she said July 14th. When he heard this, he reminded her that she would have to leave next month because every August, a new group of guards arrives. He then asks if she wants to work at the facility again, but Amy says, "I'm feeling sad." Ollie asks her what she will do when she leaves, and she tells him she could visit Germany. Then Ollie says that he is afraid the new guards will treat them like animals. He also tells Amy that they will never understand the pain of the detainees as long as they are at war. A few seconds later, as Amy is doing patrol, she sees All pull out a hidden blade. She tries to warn the other guards right away, but All stops her by telling her that he will kill himself. She tells them not to give up hope, but he says the police wouldn't let him go. Even though a colonel said he was innocent, he says that no country would accept him because he was held at the facility for so long. Ollie thinks that he has no choice but to die with a knife in his throat because of all of these things. Everyone thinks he is a bad guy, so he asked her if he was good. He tells her that he likes her a lot, and she tells him that she likes Ollie and that he seems nice as he tries to figure out what to do. Amy tells him that dying isn't the answer because things can change. Ollie, on the other hand, says that no detainee is, as the facility controls their every right. They are trying to get his attention with other things.
No fucking person in this planet will take me.
She suddenly tells everyone in her hometown her real name, which is against the rules, but it's clear that she no longer cares. Amy then remembers how happy she was when she was a child to go to the zoo with her father, as long as there weren't any animals in tiny cages. When she got there, he even tried to convince her that the lion could never go home again because he couldn't survive in the wild. When she was little, her father told her it was okay, but she knows now that it was never okay because the animals were held. Then she goes back to her rounds. When she gets to Ollie's cell, she gets ready and then looks with a heavy heart. She looks into his room and sees that he is still alive. She then opens the small window and gets the blade right away. But while she does that, she holds his hands tightly to show how much she cares. Back inside the facility, in the next scene, Amy packs up her things and leaves her room because her time there is up. Ollie is surprised to find the 7th book in the Harry Potter series, which he has been looking for 2 years. He opens the book quickly and reads a note. To Ollie, I don't know if Severus Snape is a good person or not, but I do know that you like Blondie somewhere else. Amy starts to cry because she has to leave Ollie in such a dangerous place. Ollie reads the book with great interest while Amy flies around the world with the book of his Sudoku drawing. Amy turns the pages and smiles as she sees the beautiful patterns on them. At the end of the movie, the new guards do a full sweep of the hallway, and the story ends here. What do you think about this story? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like the video, subscribe and activating bell for notification until the next video. Thank you so much for watching.